Welcome to another episode of Grade Pending. The show where we watch shows, movies, listen to music, all kinds of things, and we talk about it, give our reviews on it and stuff. Awesome, which is the top of the top, the cream of the crop, the best of the best. We got Dope, which is very good, not perfect, not the bestest, but hey, it's a good show, good piece of entertainment. We got Meh, which basically is all right, or watched it once, not trying to watch it no more. And then we got straight trash with I'm never watching it again. It was hot garbage. Get this out my face. Why did I spend money on this? However you feel about it. All right. Today we got another double feature for you. You know what I'm saying? Today we'll be talking about Ironheart, hence why I got my red hood on and my arc reactor behind me for power. You know what I'm saying? And we also gonna be talking about some Thunder Lizards, Jurassic World, Part 7, Rebirth. It's another one of them dinosaur movies. Another one of them dinosaur movies. It's another one. We're going to talk about it. Now, of course, to talk about it, we got to talk about it. So, there will be spoilers. So, if you haven't seen either one yet, go watch them. Come back. Then you can watch us. You know what I'm saying? You can watch us first, get a little insight on it, then go watch it. Then just watch us. That's all that matters. Just watch us, and then, whatever you do after that, it's all on you. Now, only Gene and myself watched Ironheart, and only Otto and John watched Jurassic Park. So we'll be splitting up the duties here. I mean Jurassic World, whichever the dinosaurs, the freaking dinosaurs. So we're gonna go into Ironheart first because Gene cares and he doesn't want to be spoiled by the Jurassic World review. So we're gonna talk about Ironheart first. You know what I'm saying? Because Otto and John don't care because they're losers. But we're gonna bring it to our individual reviews. You know how we do, and then we'll come back and talk about it as community.
Yeah, so my review on Ironheart, I'm gonna actually give it a dope. I'm gonna give it a dope because obviously there's some differences between the story that we saw on Disney Plus and for our diehard comic fans, which I respect. True, as a true fan of Marvel, I like to respect both and get the best of both worlds. I do believe that they gave it a really, really good story, some background information, but I'll save that for our full on conversation on the series. But overall, I'll give it a dope. I know it also means like I'll go and watch it again and again and again, but I'll give it a dope because I probably would watch it again in the future just to connect a few more dots. So Ironheart gets a dope from me.
It was another show that they really didn't push too much. Really didn't see a trailer for it till maybe like a week or two before it even came out. Um, Not a lot of fanfare, not a lot of push, and not a lot of people saw it. But I did watch it, and I can say I enjoyed it. They split it up 3 weeks, 3 episodes the first week, 3 episodes the second week, and I can honestly say after the third episode, I was looking forward to the next week. And then but as with all Disney Plus series, I was skeptical, nervous about the wrap up and a couple, the finale episodes and things. And I can honestly say, I was surprised. I was shocked by the finale. We kind of knew the special reveal was going to happen, who was going to be there. We'll go into that a little further. But the ending and the way it ended and the turn that things took and can take in the future, I did not see coming. And like Gene, I will also give it a dope. It wasn't perfect, obviously, but I thought it was very good storytelling. Like I said, especially they stuck the landing, especially the finale. And I like the story that was told, and it flowed pretty good. All right. Obviously, spoilers, like we always say. Sasha Baron Cohen, we all knew he was coming. The show was actually filmed 3 years ago. It started production 3 years ago. So a lot of the set and stuff was leaked and stuff since back then. Um, Still to see him as Mephisto, um, great. He looked devilish. Definitely fit the role, and I hope we see him in more things because obviously Mephisto can play a part in a lot of other storylines and other things. So I definitely don't think they hired him just for just this. You know what I'm saying? I think the plan is to have him play Mephisto in many more roles to come. But Gene, tell me what you thought about. Again, spoilers if you haven't seen it. You guys haven't seen it. Should have watched it.
I
But
saw the fucking premiere. You didn't even ask me what I thought on the pilot, bro. I watched the.
so, Gene, tell me what did you think about the decision that Riri made at the end to do the deal with the devil?
Well, first I like to say I respect Otto and John a whole lot, from all the episodes we do. With that being said, I am disappointed that I cannot go back and forth with them about this show because they always have great takes and perspectives. So,
I'm being
you know,
censored, Gene. I would love to have a conversation with you, but Paulie keeps muting me.
You
The
gotta
man in the
watch
red
the
hood.
show to even have an opinion on that. That's all I'm
No,
saying.
you don't. Not this piece of shit. Get the
But
fuck out of here.
continue your point, Gene. Before I have
yeah,
to mute this
I
guy.
think it'd be great. Even though he didn't watch the show, I would love to probably try to combat some of the issues that he has with the show from watching the pilot and being an
Why
avid
no
fan that
Tony
he is.
Stark, Gene? Tell me, where was Tony?
Where was Tony? So
He's
listen,
dead.
that is to answer Paul's question. Riri obviously spoiler made the decision at the end to make a deal with Mephisto. So now what, right? Because another spoiler, her dead friend is now alive in the flesh. So she goes from being her Jarvis, Natalie, which was capital Natalie, right? And to now being her friend again. So how does Riri now tell this story to Xavier, to her mom Ronnie, and to everyone in the neighborhood, right? How does she explain that? And what's the thing that Mephisto is going to take from her that she won't miss? And to me, the way I like to think, have some forward thinking, right? Because every superhero needs something that's fragmented, something that's broken. Now, with Riri, when they gave that little background story, her fracture was Gary, her stepdad, and her best friend Natalie.
Mm-hmm.
So now that she got that back at the end, half of that, what's the thing that she won't miss that Mephisto probably will take from her? I think it's something drastic, like her mom dying of some rare disease or some villain, something happening with some supervillain having beef with her because Riri doesn't talk to her mom. She doesn't open up. So when Mephisto says something like that, they've been putting in the show how they kept saying how Riri is selfish, how she's selfish, and that was one of her character traits that they pushed forward, right? So for
Mm-hmm.
me, I'm saying the thing that he probably could take, if they want to make it a real rugged and real dark dimension type of story, is Mephisto being responsible for the death of her mother.
Mm.
Um, now, Otto, what
You,
was your question again, Otto?
where was Tony? No, I'm kidding. That wasn't a real question. I'm gonna give you some feedback on the pilot. That's I did watch it legit. And unlike John, I was nowhere near the White House on January 6th, so like I gave this a fair shake. The end of the episode, her friend that which you mentioned passed away, which I thought okay that was cool, blah, blah, but she came back as the glitch or whatever, and I saw that okay that's what they're gonna do, and I did read that obviously the Mephisto thing 2 seconds after it aired was on the internet, so I did see it, and I did hear or read that she made that decision. And my thing is like, okay, that's cool. My thing is Disney dropped it 3 episodes at a time. It was only 6 episodes. It was shot 3 years ago. There was no confidence in this. So I was like, why am I going to waste my time? Like, this is not like, there's so many Disney Plus shows like Secret Invasion where it ended with a super scroll that we're never going to see again. There's no payoff. So why invest? Like, what you're talking about a potential season 2, or Paul, you're saying Mephisto can appear somewhere else. There is no more somewhere else. Like the new mandate, it doesn't look like there's anything like coming. So I'm open to watching it. If you guys both gave it a dope, I have no problem with the actors. I heard that this kid that was played Han Solo plays fucking this guy from Iron Man Part 1, his son.
Yeah,
I don't know if he has a bigger part in it or not, but I was open to it.
he
I like the
does.
actors. It was shot well. The pilot was shot well. It was entertaining. I
the,
just don't
the,
want to
the
invest.
best thing to me is, and to answer your question why I would recommend it, one, it has higher stakes than She-Hulk, and you guys watch that and like that. You guys
But
know my
She-Hulk was
biggest
good.
issue with
She-Hulk got a lot
She-Hulk
of heart
was
on it.
it meant nothing. They retconned the show as it happened. In this one, it actually does move forward, and I hope it does move forward. One, two, I love a flawed hero, and she was a flawed hero. She was not a perfect hero. She was not, granted, her ability to build robots, like Tony, but with less parts, whatever. But he also built it in a cave with a box of scraps.
See,
But
can I
she was
say
able to
something,
do it.
Paul?
But I feel like, but let me just finish. I feel like she was flawed in her decision making, which ultimately, like I said, she ended up making a deal with the devil, and she, she would rob, she would steal. She wasn't a goody two shoes hero, and that's what I liked about the storytelling. So even though as much as I was surprised about her decision in the end, I love the way they did the reveal, and it called back to decisions she made in the show. And you're like, yo, she's been a little selfish, or she's been, what I'm saying, so that type of person. So in the end, it's like, oh, I'm not surprised at the decision she made. I'm surprised Disney went that route more so. You know what I'm saying? That's why, I would watch it just for the journey. The story itself that they told, I think is a very good story. So
Yeah,
I
and that's
I
my
think that I'm not full. I think that with both of y'all giving it dopes, I'm gonna give it a chance. So I told her what you just said. I actually, if you remember my review, wasn't a big fan of She-Hulk. And after She-Hulk, I kind of went down on watching Disney Plus shows. And then with me wanting to get back and be hyped was Daredevil, and you remember my review for that shit. So I have no faith in Disney Plus shows, and I also have no interest in the Ironheart character. I never did, being a comic book fan as myself. So I didn't really care, and then I also felt like the way they're doing it, what are the chances that is anything worth us building to that universe? So that's why I was like, all right, well, I really don't care about it. And then when it launched, you heard all the negative reviews and all the bombing of it. So I was like, you know what? Unless someone that I trust, like right now, you guys are giving it a dope, I'll give it a chance. Unless I trust somebody that I should definitely watch it, I'm gonna let it go by. Now, the only thing I don't get, I seen a bunch of like between Instagram and TikTok, like the joke with like Tony Stark build with a box of scraps. I don't get the joke. I'm guessing they're saying that like, Tony would still be Tony because of the shots at him being a billionaire or whatever they did, but I don't get the reference. What's that whole thing about?
Yeah, so that's one of the things I wanted to talk about because I did see that. So before I watched the show, because I honestly, I just watched the show. What yesterday, Paul? I think I was
5 minutes
texting.
ago.
I
yeah,
literally just watched the show like
just finished it.
yesterday.
Yeah,
I finished it yesterday, and that's to me, that's how much it piqued my interest because I did stay off of online, but I did see the criticism about how she's able to build a robot in her apartment. I saw one of my friends post that, and I'm like, hey, like, yeah, Tony Stark was able to build it in a cave with some guy bringing him scraps. Meanwhile, Riri took parts from a build that was a machine that was already built. So
and this was her like fourth or fifth robot. That was his
right,
first.
remember she has the experience
Wait,
with
are we tracking Riri or are we defending her? I'm confused.
I'm defending her
Defending her.
because people were saying how can she build the machine in her apartment? Well, she took an old machine that she had and then just took some pots,
Okay.
pans, some panels inside the house,
Yeah,
and she did that. Like so to
because
me, it's
people
like
made it seem like she just was
yeah,
able to just build from nothing. But it
right,
was
and
like,
that's not the
one, she's
case.
already built this
She had
machine 3 or 4
yep,
times prior. So this is her Mach 4 or Mach 5. There's a
yeah.
few builds in the
I
show.
got you.
Yeah,
So
she used the prototype. So
yeah,
I felt like that was an unfair critique of the show. I just think people were looking for something to pick at. And you guys make a great point about what's the payoff, right? What am I looking forward to? And I think when I look at shows like She-Hulk, like, yeah, that meant nothing, right? So when I look at Agatha all along, right? I asked myself too, what's the payout? What am I looking forward to? Now, fast forward, when I see Ironheart, I'm like, okay, so they are gonna really go dark dimension route because now Agatha means more to me besides revealing that Tommy is still alive. You know what I mean? Because now you get the Mephisto reveal. He's been making deals, so now I'm like, man, do I need to go back and watch Agatha and pay attention to a couple of more things that might have actually put little Easter eggs in there
and
that he's
a few
been there the
things
entire
too.
time?
A few more things too that'll tie in. Um, her
The devil's
her
details.
friend knows witchcraft and stuff, and she in the comics she ends up going to Doctor Strange's academy to
Yep.
so they could go with that. Where she could either go to Carmitage or they could Strange. They talked about the next Doctor Strange movie, and now you
Right.
can have her and America Chavez and some other people can be a part of the Strange Academy. So like I said, hopefully these characters do get pulled into
Well, he's in the dark dimension right now, Strange.
yeah. So
He's
and
in
he's
the
been there. We don't know where they're gonna
right.
go with that because it's been a while. But
Yeah.
hopefully, what I'm saying, they clean that up and what I'm saying. But like I said, these characters can still be used in further things. And we do know, Captain America: Brave New World did come from the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. So the series, the Disney Plus series is still due be a launch pad. It just doesn't happen often, so we still don't know what happened to Moon Knight. But sometimes they do continue. So
And
hopefully
Moon Knight was fire.
it really was. And
Fire.
they left it there. So we don't I hope more comes of these characters. They did drop the Easter eggs. They did leave us with a cliffhanger. They did, leave it with more to come.
So Midnight Suns, right? So
Mhm.
since you brought up Moon Knight, all right, the connection now. Mephisto's revealed. He said, "Hey, you're not my only client. I'm busy, right?"
Mhm.
We know that what's the name? What's his name? Ghost Rider,
Mhm.
potentially, right? Has to be a
Mhm.
client of Mephisto's, right? Because how
Mhm.
do you come back after being killed? And obviously it has a hellfire. So hopefully that could be a payout with Midnight Suns where we
Yeah, I
see.
don't think you waste, Sasha Baron Cohen just for
That's what
that.
I'm saying. So
I
you
think
got
he
to
comes back.
see Moon Knight again, right?
Mhm.
With Ghost Rider, and then now, hey, we did do Deadpool and Wolverine not that long ago, so we still have that we could pull as well too. So
Mhm.
there are a couple of things, and maybe I am being hopeful, right? There's a little bit of being ideal in there,
Mhm.
because history has shown us that sometimes they just scrap everything and then go another route, and we got to kind
Mhm.
of roll with it or critique it or find some good in it, right? But I am hopeful, especially after Ironheart. For me, I feel like that was a callback to a few other shows we saw, some other movies. Not only did it reestablish Riri's character and give her more of a background story to who she truly is, it did show again that she's flawed,
She's
right?
flawed. Mhm.
Because we didn't know when we saw her in Wakanda Forever, she's just this smart tech girl that everybody's looking at that somehow ended up with the Wakandans because there was a fight on the Chicago Bridge and she
Mhm.
put her robot there, right? That to me, that made less sense than the story we just got about
Mhm.
Ironheart and her development there. So for everyone that saw Black Panther Wakanda and accepted her in that movie, should definitely see Ironheart and get the full character and background, and you'll get more of an understanding, and maybe there'll actually be more appreciation for Black Panther Wakanda, or Panther Forever.
And I
I
think
mean, for me,
Anthony
that
Ramos did a great job playing the hood. Anthony
Yeah.
Ramos,
Shout
very
out to
underrated
Broadway.
actor. He even his story and his arc was a great story, for his reason for doing what he was doing and robbing, and you know what I'm saying. And I thought it was a very good written. I won't say very well written, but a very good written story. For the most part, it made sense, and for the most part, like I said, I was intrigued. After the first 3 episodes, I was really looking forward to the
So
next week.
are you guys familiar like with the hood, like his comic book character?
Hmm.
I mean, I haven't read any books with him in it, but I've seen how he looks in the comics. I know that's why he has that big silly cape.
Yeah, so right. So the way they did it in the show was, excuse me. The way they did it in the show was he was running from a situation, a robbery, right? Like a break-in. And he didn't have anywhere to go. He was stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Mephisto conveniently shows up, makes a deal with him. He gives him the cape. He gives him the tool that he needs to do what he wants to do, right? In the comic books, he actually is in the dark dimension. He kills a demon and actually gets the demon's cape and boots, right? So that becomes his tools as the hood. So the reason why I mention that, because Paul talked about the best friend Zelma, who the end credits, the hood actually goes to the shop because he's been
Hmm.
looking for somebody to help him out, right? Because Zelma is able to switch realms and go into different dimensions. So even though his initial character that we saw did not get the powers the way that the comic book reference, I believe that end credit at the end will actually be the payoff now to have him go into the dark dimensions, go through more character development, and have that arc to where he actually becomes more powerful because of some of the things that he does in the dark dimension or other dimensions with the young lady Zelma.
And
Nice.
I mean,
real quick, because Otto loves the numbers. Rotten
Oh, fake
Tomatoes,
numbers? The fake
eighty-two
numbers.
percent,
Right. That's after they removed the reviews.
82% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It was the audience score, the one
We
that
don't
matters.
discuss the audience score. No,
Okay,
the audience
okay.
score. The audience score is 50%. Now,
Mhm.
how many of those people actually watched it is, what I'm
I ain't
saying?
gonna
But
lie. Yeah, I don't want to say why I think the audience score is
we're not
50%,
gonna
so I'll
go
leave it
into
alone.
going. We're not
John,
gonna go into that.
John, January 6th and John. I understand. I'm with you.
But I
so
want
They
to I
did this.
want to
I'm
save some
sorry.
time to talk about those lizards. So Gene, I know you want to disperse because you don't want to be spoiled about the dinosaur movie that you know what I'm saying we've all seen numerous times.
What can we really spoil about Jurassic World? Like it's not like some big secret. Vin Diesel don't show up. I promise you.
I agree.
Paul said the same thing, but each said they probably just made a new lizard hybrid and
Gene,
everything.
Gene, it's been a pleasure having a proper conversation. Finally, an intelligent black man on the show. It never happens. We finally have an intelligent black man. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Hope you're back more. Oh, Paul, I didn't see you there. Sorry.
Did you? Oh, is it the hood?
Wearing glasses.
Was it the hood? Was I invisible?
Well, because he's wearing glasses, so I know he's smart.
Crazy.
That's right. He's wearing glasses. That's why he's saying that, because you're wearing glasses.
Yeah, I appreciate
count.
it. Yo, I'm gonna get up with y'all soon, man. Y'all be easy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Have a good one.
Thanks a lot, Gene. We could talk about the lizards, so let's get into the review for Jurassic World Rebirth.
This movie sucked dick. Jesus Christ, deja vu all over again. Paul, I remember when I got this popcorn bucket, you were like, I bet you the bucket's going to be the best part of the movie. Boy, were you fucking right. Hold on. There it is. Oh, that's fucking beautiful. Oh, that was worth the fucking 2 hours I sat through. Jurassic Park 7. Damn, dude. I really wanted this to be good. Gareth Evans was the director. Gareth Evans has made some really good films, such as Godzilla, such as Rogue One. The creator, if anyone hasn't seen it, it stars Denzel's son. It's one of the most like visually stunning movies I've seen in the last 10 years. But the script sucked. And this one, the script sucked. How do you fuck this up? You have Scarlett Johansson, you have Mahershala, you have the slutty guy with the glasses, the guy with the slutty little glasses. There was so much potential here. I really don't know how the fuck they fucked it up, but they did. They did. How do you fuck up dinosaurs? I don't fucking know, but they did. I was fucking bored. Nothing happened. There were no stakes. Right away, you knew who was gonna die. Fuck, man. So fucking disappointing. But at the end of the film, when the lights came on, the credits rolled, everyone in the theater was clapping. Everyone in the theater loved it. And fucking it made $1 billion this weekend, 300 million. And it's going to fuck with my Superman money. So I'm very upset because this movie was not good. It was shot well, but that's it. Fuck. Blow, man.
So, who doesn't love dinosaurs, bro? Like, first of all, let's start there. Dinosaurs are fucking amazing. Anyway, I love my Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movies. I think they do what they're supposed to do. They're entertaining. They have dinosaurs. They're badass. They're amazing. Anyway, so I go in watching it, and to Otto's point, I'm like, all right, well, I know who made the movie, and I know who's in the movie, and it has dinosaurs, so win. Oh my god, this movie was terrible. I was really disappointed. It's the worst one in my opinion out of the franchise. It had so many issues, so many errors, bad script, bad CGI in certain parts, there's just in general things that didn't make any fucking sense. And like Otto said, predictable. I was extremely disappointed, and I was bored. I agree. There's definitely you shouldn't be bored during a fucking dinosaur movie. There was parts where I was bored, and I also, as I've been very vocal about before to Otto and a couple times when we mentioned Jurassic World on this podcast, I'm also not a fan of the inbred stupid fucking fake dinosaur they made. Because it's not a real dinosaur, so it's fucking stupid. You have a T-Rex. You don't need more. It's a fucking T-Rex. Anyway, but no, it was fucking terrible. But to Otto's point, when the movie was over, everyone clapped. Everyone was happy. Everyone was excited. It's making $1 million. It was hard to get certain, like the popcorn bucket. I was like, oh my god, I might not even get mine. Like it was ready to sell out. Like I was like, yo, people loved it. Like they were buying everything, all the merchandise. Like I love the popcorn buckets, just like Otto loves the popcorn buckets. But usually there's a few of us who buy it besides resellers. Everyone in the theater had a fucking popcorn bucket. I was like, oh shit, like dinosaurs fucking rule. But anyway, I know that you've been a dinosaur hater for a long time, Paul. But Jurassic World and Jurassic Park are great, but this movie sucks. And what sucks the most, well, hopefully it's better, but they're gonna make a trilogy out of this, I believe. And because it made the money, it's gonna get the trilogy, even though this movie fucking sucked. I'm going low man as well.
Not low man, low man. By the way, 52% Rotten Tomato score, 72% from
The people.
No,
fans.
I don't get what they saw. Like,
They saw dinosaurs, I guess. I don't know.
It was so bad. So
oh
bad.
my god.
I'm glad
Like,
I'm glad Gene wasn't here for that because he wants to see it. So
I
that might have
wanted
shot
to
his.
see it too.
That would have burst his bubble.
like,
I mean,
yo, no exaggeration. I have 2 rules for movies. I don't care how long the movie is. I don't get up and go to the bathroom, and I don't fall asleep.
mhm.
I was dozing off.
Wow.
I was dozing off. I mean, granted, it was after working a fucking shift at work, but still, I was dozing off, and I was like, yo, I had to like pop up, and I was like, yo, this is kind of boring. Like, yeah, I was hoping to be on the edge of my seat. Like, yes, like I love fucking dinosaurs since I was a fucking kid, and I love Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. I love the whole fucking franchise, and I'm like, fuck, I'm literally falling asleep. But there were scenes where people were clapping and happy, and I was like, what? What are you clapping at?
I don't hate dinosaurs. I hate these recent Jurassic movies. The first couple movies was good. Then the last one for sure I didn't like because it had nothing to do with dinosaurs. It was about locusts.
First of all, sir, in the words of Tony the Tiger, the first few movies were great.
The first 3 were great. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You said good.
They were all right. It went down from the beginning. But the Jurassic World ones, they weren't good.
They got bad. They got worse as they went on. But I liked the first Jurassic World, and then it was like,
the first Jurassic World was amazing. The first Jurassic World, they had fucking dinosaurs torturing humans, and like, oh, so good. That happened too. But that's prep, baby. You can't mess with prep. He used the fucking force.
you know,
John, we can't hear you. But John, I'm assuming you're calling Paul slurs because he's offending Blue. And
can you guys really not hear me?
I hear you now.
Yay!
Listen, I was gonna go see it for the sake of this, but I'm glad I didn't. I'll wait for it streaming. I'll wait till the streams. I'm good.
So bad. So bad.
Yeah. And there's so much like.
Wow. Sorry, it was the first time that I was like, oh, this is one of those Chat GPT scripts. This is one of those.
Wow.
They put it through lowest common denominator. No, what makes people happy in the theaters, and it worked. No stakes, no nothing. Just everyone clapping. Oh, he's a retarded family. Yay! I'm like, okay, is something gonna happen to Yolanda or whatever the little dinosaur's name was? No, Dora or whatever the fuck it was. No, nothing. It was so fucking dude.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we do the spoilers. So, but yeah, like the father, like he's injured, that he's not injured. Like he's like limping, walking, and then next thing he's running and crouching down. He did have a nice mustache.
Yeah, that's about it.
I did think that I don't know his name, but the main villain from Deadpool 1, I did think he would last a little longer in the movie. I knew he was gonna die, but I think he would last a little bit longer, like at least get out and land.
Wasn't the whole point that the new D-Rex that you don't like, John? Wasn't it that he got out and but then at the end he was just in there chilling, waiting for these motherfuckers to show up? It made no fucking sense. And Paul, this was all started because of a Snickers bar. There was so much product placement in this thing, which was like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on? But it worked.
So they made their money back in box office. They got product placement. Oh, they killing it.
And ScarJo got points because she don't fuck around. So
she's now the richest. What is the highest grossing actor of all time? Male, female actor, all time.
Really?
Highest grossing. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the chat, John. I posted this days ago.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Bad boy.
But there you have a life.
But yeah, fucking like there's just so much stuff. Like even though the Marshall Ali used to be dead. He used to be dead. Like it doesn't make any sense.
I was like, all right, everyone's gonna survive except for the family and the core 3. And then when they did the fake out of him dying, I was like, oh, they had some balls. But then I was like, no, because if they do this, they can't like kill all the black people in the movie. And then he showed up at the end like, oh, he's fine. I was like, oh, never mind.
But my problem isn't like I don't mind him surviving. My problem is that not only did he go to the back and it gave me like that fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger and Predator vibe. He's going to the fucking the back of the tree in the water and like, but the boat is not only speeding, but the boat is going in the opposite direction, and somehow he swam around and the boat got in front. Like it didn't make any fucking sense. And then like there was just a bunch of stupid parts. Some of the CGI was fucking terrible. Then like when the fucking pterodactyl fucking huge motherfucking dinosaur fucking attacked them and they're at the top. And they walk down, and somehow they get down there at the same time. This guy falls fucking 100 feet. Doesn't make sense. Gravity, that's not how it works. Like, it was just, there was a lot that it was, like, it was dumb script writing. It was just, there was so much of it that I was like, fuck, this is.
So at least the entertaining. The bar is low. Ironheart is better than Jurassic World Rebirth.
Let's not get crazy.
So I feel good. I feel confident, definitely, in you guys watching it now. I feel,
Not to defend the dinosaurs, but it is dinosaurs and Scarlett Johansson. So I don't know if you're gonna win that one. But but no. After you guys both gave it dope, I'll check out Ironheart. Like I'll
yeah, like I
definitely do it.
said, being fair, not you know me, Loki's still number one, but I think it was a good series. I was impressed. I was like, I really, like I said, after the first 3 episodes, I was like, damn, I gotta wait till next Tuesday. I want to see where it goes from here. So I think they did a good job with that. The second half wasn't as good as the first half, the first three, but they stick the landing, the storytelling. I think really did a good job, and I was satisfied with the ending and everything. Um, yeah, I guess there's not much more to say about the dinosaurs, and you know what I'm saying. But comment your thoughts below. Obviously, this week we have Superman coming up. Otto, are you going to the Prime screening?
John and I are going to Prime,
Yeah,
sir.
going to the Prime screening, so that'll be
Whole
right
dick.
away. We're definitely gonna have a review up for that next week. So stay
Why
tuned.
would we wait a whole fucking week when it's out tomorrow, bro?
I'm going Thursday. I'm not doing the Prime, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody watching. We'll see y'all on the next one. Later, guys.